to another episode of Small Town Baker. I'm so happy with all of my fans out there and my comments. It just means so much to me. And since, as you can see, we're actually doing an evening bake tonight, so I think it's time for some wine. So cheers, everybody, and enjoy. Have a glass with me while you watch. It's a great Italian wine. That's a bit of an inside joke. Anyway, so we did a vote on whether we were going to do oat cakes or cheesy tea biscuits. And guess what? Guess who won? The cheesy tea biscuits. So I'm excited to show you how I make those today. And I do have to give a shout out to my mom, Marion Fleming, for which I did receive this recipe. In fact, everything I've baked and made so far is from my mom, Marion Fleming. And as you can see on an old recipe card is my recipe. Okay, well, here we go. Let's get ready to start. Oh, first of all, we should preheat the oven to 425. It's a bit hotter than a normal kind of cookie that you would bake. And we're gonna start with, believe it or not, 5 cups of flour. So this makes a pretty big recipe, which is great. So, and they're really quite easy to freeze. And they freeze really well. So 1, and again, no need to be exact. As I said, that's the way the small town baker goes. Okay, 4, I think that was 4, wasn't it, producer? 5, okay. So 5 cups of flour. I'm gonna do all the dry ingredients first. We're gonna do a 1/4 cup of sugar. So there is a little bit of a sweetness. And if you don't have a 1/4 cup, you just fill a 1/2 cup halfway. That's how I do my math. I was really good at school. Okay, so 1/4 cup of sugar. You'd think that I would know this recipe off by heart, but 1 teaspoon of salt. Ooh, I think I forgot to get the salt out. Bear with me. Here we go, sorry about that. 1 teaspoon of salt. Just be careful not to over pour there because, so that's it for the dry ingredients. So I'm gonna give those a little stir. Just stir that up really quickly. Okay, so, forgot the baking powder. That wouldn't be good if we didn't put any baking powder in. They'd be like pucks. So I'm gonna do 8 teaspoons of baking powder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's pretty exact enough. So we're gonna move on to that's all the dry ingredients. So we'll give that a little thing. Of course, now everything that you bake needs some sort of fat. This one calls for all butter. But my trick, frozen butter that's shredded into the batter. Now, my friend over in PEI, famous chef named Michael Smith, gave me that tip. So actually what I'm gonna do is, of course I gotta wash my hands because I'm gonna start shredding the butter. So I'm gonna come over to the sink and remember, what do I say? No Corona in the kitchen. So we're going to get our soap. We're gonna get the water warm and we're gonna go. Oh, the year was 78. How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. A letter of marque came from the king to the scummiest vessel I've ever seen. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier. The last of Barrett's privateers. And a happy birthday. Just in case. There we go. I think those are nice and dry. So, now this is the trick. This butter was in the freezer. See, feel that. Hard as rock. We're gonna open it up as quick as we can. Woo! Producer, something happened to my light. My staff will fix that up for me. Okay, and we're going to cut this right in half. So it's a little tricky. There we go. I didn't get it. It wasn't exactly straight. So, okay, so that's about a cup. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our grater and we're gonna grate the butter right into this. So I'll keep you with me for a little bit, but then I might get the director to pause. All right, so as you can see, the cup of butter is almost shredded into there. Now, the other key with this recipe is you want to work quick, because the reason why these tea biscuits are so yummy is because the cold butter helps create steam within the biscuit when it's cooking, and so it comes out really nice and soft and yummy and a perfect texture. So we're going to put that butter in there. Then of course we're calling this my cheesy tea biscuits. So I'm just going to finish shredding the rest of this cheese. And you know what? You can never have too much cheese. Kind of like when I make chocolate chip cookies. Never too many chocolate chips. Never too much cheese. So we're going to stick all that in there, just like this. Get it all in there. Okay. We're going to mix this up again really quickly. So we just want to kind of coat all the cheese and the butter in the flour mixture, just like this. See how it looks like this? And then of course you need some sort of liquid to get this all combined. So we need 2 cups of milk. So again, this is something I want to do quite quickly. I want to only mix until combined, and then we're going to roll it out. So just like that, 2 cups of milk. Give that a stir with the spoon, but then of course I'm going to get in with my hands. And of course I did just wash them, so I think we're good with that. Okay, so again, this is one of those things you just really don't want to overmix. So I'm just going to kind of stir it till it's kind of coated. The milk's kind of everywhere. And I'll do the rest with my hands. And it's okay to have little clumps of butter in there, because that's what we want. So before I get my hands in there, I'm going to put a little bit of flour on my surface, because we are going to roll these out. Oh, there's my wine. I might need a sip of that. Delicious. Okay. Now I'm going to get my hands right in there. Can you guys all see? See, it's looking good. And then the same thing like I did, if you all saw my shortbread recipe, I'm gonna do them in 2 balls. Sorry, Nave. That's a bit of an inside joke with my neighbor. Okay, and again, it's a little messy. It's kind of organic. You just kind of get that all form of a nice ball like this. Kind of put it together in your hand. I'm going to leave the rest of that in there. I'm going to put that down on the counter, which of course I thoroughly cleaned. I'm going to put a little flour on my rolling pin. I'm going to roll it out. And again, it's a biscuit. So you want it, pretty good thickness. They will plump up quite nicely though, because of all that baking powder. And then I like to just do round circles. So I actually use my glass, any kind of glass. Give that a little cut like that, grab it and put it on the cookie sheet. Simple. All right, so I've cut all I could out of that first dough ball. But I'm gonna, again, kind of like the shortbreads, if you saw that video. If you didn't go back, check out my YouTube channel and you can look it up. It's episode number 1. Small Town Baker makes shortbread cookies. So we're gonna get the other ball going. just like this. Same like that. Try to get as much pieces so we don't waste too much. Waste not, want not, as they say. My mom taught me that. Okay, so I'm gonna just move that over there. I'm gonna put a little more flour down, and I'm going to roll this out. Okay, so I've cut them all out. My oven, as you can see, just beeped and is ready. So I just put a very, very, very light egg wash on the top, just to kind of get them nice and golden. And again, I know it seems like I'm working fast. Well, I am. Because I want to get them in the oven while they are still, while that butter is still cold. All right, and we're gonna put those in the oven, and they take anywhere, I do watch them a little bit, anywhere between 9 to 12 minutes, probably more like 12. So I'll put these on 10. And again, once you get more used to baking like Small Town Baker, you kind of just know when to take them out of the oven. Okay, so I'm just finishing my second tray. I'm going to drink some wine while I wait for that first batch to finish so I can show you. And geez, I can start smelling it now. I wish you guys could smell it through the phone, but unfortunately we don't have that technology yet. Anyways, don't forget that I'm thinking about doing something Facebook Live. So maybe we'll have a little survey again on what you want to see. I know I've got lots of great suggestions, going to keep me busy. Geez, maybe right up until we're out of isolation. I'm not sure. I hope you guys are all listening to our Premier and our Prime Minister about our physical distancing. Doesn't mean we can't be social together though. So it's actually took about 12 minutes, but I had a peek, and they look delicious. And oh, the smell is just amazing. So we're just gonna pull those out right now. And you can see how they've risen so nicely and they smell so good. The cheese is just oozing out and it's delicious. Here we are, the finished product, cheesy tea biscuits. They go great with a yummy seafood chowder or a nice soup, anything really. You will love them and they smell delicious. I wish you could try them. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for next one. You never know, maybe Small Town Bakery will go savory. Small Town Bakery.